JKJMfit YouTube page.
So we're all about giving you guys fun new workouts to try with your partner, whether that's a guy or a girl, no matter what level you're at with your training, different variations, but just letting you get involved and have fun with it.
I mean, you can also do these workouts alone if you need to, but we found that when we started our Instagram page, we'd get quite a lot of DMs about, do we have a full workout video available for people to do in their own time? So we thought, why not bring it to YouTube?
Yeah, so on YouTube, we're going to try and take you guys to our workouts, explain how we come up with the different types of things, and just a bit of behind the scenes, I guess.
Yeah. So before we actually get into it, when we started our Instagram page, we made gym profiles. So we thought, by way of introduction, why not do them here? So for me, my favourite body part to train is my legs. My favourite exercise is the Bulgarian split squat because it really works the quads. And overall, my gym goal is to just be more toned because I kind of like the way I am right now.
Yeah, so in terms of my gym goals, I'd say bigger arms and bigger chest, probably like most guys. But yeah, my gym journey started when I was 18, so about 5 years ago now. But I've been training since I was 6 from a martial arts background. So that's useful because it gives you a bit of a different perspective in terms of body mechanics, how the things work, what works with what, muscles working in tandem and stuff. So helps you work more effectively. So I'm trying to give you guys some of those tips as we go through as well.
Sure he will be, yeah.
But yeah, let's get started.
Yeah.
So today we're going to do a quick video partner workout where we're both going to be involved in each other's exercises. Jade's working legs today, I'm working arms. Jade's going to do 4 exercises, I've got 3 exercises in my circuit. We're going to do that round 3 times. We're going to show you 3 different variations for each circuit. So that means depending on your skill level, how long you've been training, or what particular focus you want to do today, there'll be a variation for you. Alright, so first we're going to get started with Jade's legs.
Okay guys, so getting straight into it, we're starting with the leg press. For this variation, I'm going to be taking a wider stance to engage in my lower glutes. Josiah's given me as much body weight as possible, which is really great because since we've been in quarantine, I've struggled to find something similar to the leg press in regards to how much weight I can get for my quads. So this particular variation is great for me.
Yeah, with this one, just a couple of tips. You want to make sure that you're able to lean on something. Otherwise, it's quite hard to give them a constant weight. And for the person pushing, you want to make sure you're trying to simulate that machine experience as much as you can. So following those lines that you normally would.
So moving on to the closed leg variation now. Whereas the wide leg worked on the lower glutes, this one works great with the quads. Well, you get to push through your quads on this one and you'll really feel the burn. So I've gone straight into it using the wide leg stance and the closed leg stance to finish off my set. So I've done it as a superset going straight into it, but what you can do is either do the same, so do all 3 sets back to back with no rest, or you can just do this variation with 10 reps.
And the variation is that because you're having to move in and out, it involves stabilization muscles, especially to try and keep that weight even for Jade. So that isometric hold on your chest, it gives you a nice little burn as well.
Okay, so moving on to squats. Now, this exercise is not as easy as it looks, is it?
No, I felt like I was doing more work than you. But that's the best thing about partner workouts, where you can both work at the same time.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. This exercise, you really need to hold your partner's legs up as high as you can, and then just engage in a slow and controlled squat while your partner planks.
And then this one, again, similar exercise for the person squatting. They're just taking a little less weight, but it's the same motion, trying to keep their arms as high as possible. Jade's doing as best as she can there, but starting to flow. But the person working their abs, what you want to do is just squeeze that core as tight as you can, keep the bum tight so you're working your hamstrings as well. So you want to be as straight as you can as that squatter lifts you up.
Okay, now onto the final variation. Now this one's probably the easiest because it's the least amount of weight that I've got from Josiah, but I was tired as hell during this one. So again, using his legs, try and keep your arms up as high as possible, which I'm doing a very bad example of here. And just engage again in slow and controlled squats, working the quads and keeping those glutes all perky.
If you want to give them more resistance, you can push those legs down. I'm just keeping my legs weightless there, but in other variations, or if you're less fatigued, you can really push down with those legs.
Okay, so after leaving Josiah on the floor, we move on to what I like to call the bum burner, the kickbacks. So again, Josiah's giving me some weight here with the kickbacks, 10 of those on each leg. So here with the bum burners, we're doing pulses, a bit more body weight from Josiah. Ladies, if your partner's ever getting on your nerves, you want to give them a kick up the backside, this is perfect.
Yeah, not gonna lie guys, this one is about as uncomfortable as it looks, but it's got to take one for the team. So you want to be able to manage your weight on the way down. So I'm holding onto a sink here, but if you're doing it and you haven't got that, just make sure there's something you can hold on to so you're not giving your partner all of your body weight.
So often to push myself, I like to go straight into the next exercise that I'm doing. So this one is not traditional kickback where you usually go out, this one's going upwards.
In person working their abs, it's a bit of a non-conventional one here. What you're doing, you're kind of holding that V-sit position and just letting your legs drop at the knee to give them that weight, but you're not really trying to pull your whole leg down.
Okay, so moving on to the good old hammies right now, using Josiah again. What I try to do is recreate that machine in the gym. I don't know what it's called. Do you know what?
Nah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So we're going to move on to the one leg variation using that towel, which has been an absolute godsend during quarantine. Really does make partner workouts go to that next level.
Yeah, it really does, and it really helps in terms of your wrists and keeping them protected, and instead of getting them into really awkward positions when you're trying to pull down on your partner's leg, you've got the towel to do all the work for you.
Almost simulates that resistance band motion. So with these one leg or one arm variations, depends what you're doing. The reason why they're useful is because when you use two arms or two legs, there's a whole load of other stabilization and secondary muscle groups that are involved to help you do the lift or perform the exercise. When you do that one leg variation, it means that the muscles that you're actually trying to work and recruit have to do the work and take the brunt of that load.
So with this variation of the hamstring curl, I'm going to be doing killer sevens. So starting from the bottom to the middle, then going from the top to the middle, and then doing a full hamstring curl.
So this killer 7 technique, you can take it and apply it across lots of different exercises, whether that's a bench press, a bicep curl, a tricep dip.
Squats.
What it's all about is working the different ranges of motion of the exercise and trying to max out each different range, because each different range works a different portion of the muscles.
All right, PT.
so that's the leg circuit done. 4 exercises. We did 3 rounds of that with different variations, so feel free to choose whichever variations work best for you and whatever you're trying to focus on. But now we're going to get onto biceps and arms. So we're going to do bicep curls to start. They're the thing I find hardest to replace without a gym, so we're going to give you some options here.
So we're going to kick things off with some bicep curls. It's probably been my favourite home workout exercise because you can really load up on this one. You know, people say, what's it like having a girlfriend that's taller than you, if you didn't notice already. But this is one of the reasons why I love it, because you can really load up on that weight.
Nothing wrong with that at all. But no, he always rants and raves about this exercise. For me, it's similar to what he was doing for my leg press. Just hold the plank if you're not the one bicep curling.
So it's kind of the inverse of the squat variations we were doing earlier, where you can vary the weight by either kicking your legs down, keeping your abs tight to come up straight, or just giving you that kind of dead leg weight.
So that was the first bicep exercise, a great replacement for any kind of barbell curl you'd normally do in the gym. And so I think I actually prefer that because, especially with the second variation, when you're doing your curl, usually in the gym, if you're using a barbell or a resistance band or a rope or whatever, as you get to here, your strength curve actually is at its lowest point, because here is the bit you actually have to get over. So once you get here, you've actually got not much left when you're actually really squeezing the bicep. Whereas with this variation, when Jade's putting the body weight up, you actually need the most strength at this point of the movement. So that final bit is where you're really getting that intensity. So what we got next?
So I did eventually remember what was next. So Jade stumbling onto me in this one.
Climbing.
If that's what you call it. So I actually tried this for the first time in this video. So again, reaping the benefits of having a girlfriend that's taller than you. But literally, if I close my eyes, I can imagine myself in the gym, on the bench press, sweat dripping, loading up on the bar. Literally, it feels just like a bench press, and it's brilliant. I haven't been able to load up on my chest like this since being at home before.
I really think that he liked this exercise because he had a bit of a chest pump. That's the only reason.
And then with this variation, I was already fatigued, I went straight into it, but with Jade holding the plank here, I'm getting less of the weight, so I'm able to still get 10 reps out, and it's a nice way to simulate a drop set. Because the thing about doing press-ups at home, you can do sets of 30, 40, but you know, when you get to those numbers, you're not overloading anything. So for me, I'd much rather find variations where I'm able to load up enough where I can only get 8 to 12 reps out, but at least if I can do 4 sets of that, then I'm actually feeling the benefit, as opposed to, you know, hundreds of push-ups.
The exercise is actually hard for both parties involved, but here's Josiah, who can't hack taking any more weight, so reverts back to normal press-ups.
So that was a press-up series. So working chest and triceps. So the first 2 variations are pretty damn hard. The last one, if you're starting out or fatigued, you can revert always to just normal push-up. And if you want to make that one a bit more difficult, you can do variations like a clap or a archer push-up or a fist push-up or whatever you want to do with it. All right, got my breath back and on to the next one.
So funny enough about this exercise, it's actually really beneficial for both of us working our triceps. I actually used to hate when Josiah would call me up from the sofa and be like, Jade, can I work my triceps? But it's actually really, really effective and actually a lot of fun.
And there's two ways you can do this one. If I'm trying to load up, then I'll ask Jade to really get her body over it and let's focus on her form. Or you can do it kind of together where Jade's trying to keep her elbow straight. She's kind of found a halfway place in that example there. But here we're moving on to the variation where Jade's working her bicep curl, so she's got better form here. And
Getting off with my ball.
and I'm doing my tricep dip, so similar to what you do in the gym.
Well, to be fair with the tricep one, I actually wasn't trying to work my triceps. I was just helping you by putting down, but on to the next exercise.
On to the next one, thank you. So here we've got some kickbacks. So one of my favourite ones to do in a gym to hit that long head of the tricep, and we're replicating that here. So even though it looks like Jade's doing a kickback with her legs, which would be kind of doing the job for me, what gravity is doing is making you have to pull that leg back up. So you're still able to load up on that one. And actually, as we move into the right arm, as that fatigue starts to set in, I'm struggling to even get my arm fully straight.
They're using me as an object.
So that was the tricep circuit. So making use of the towel to give you 3 different variations. And to be fair, you can make them up yourself. As long as you understand how the body mechanics and how what the triceps function is, you can mix and match and play around to come up with your own workouts. So basically, if you're going overhead, you're going to be hitting the long head of the tricep. And then if you're going down, then you're going to be hitting the shorter 2 heads. So it just depends what you're trying to work and just mix them up really. So that was today's workout, our first video, so let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
No, we just hope you really enjoyed it. We really like doing these workouts together because in a way, I mean, we get on each other's nerves when we do it a bit, but it's a nice way for us to just think of new exercises and new fun ways to work out because we really like to have fun with the exercise. So
it's all about making it fun. If it's not fun, you don't want to do it. So
yeah, it's just a chore. So yeah, we hope you like it and we'll see you on the next one.
It's just a chore.